Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. It's Thursday night, and we are ready to get into some TNA Impact here at the Wrestling for Life Network, the channel that just covers more live wrestling than anyone else out there. I hope everyone's having a wonderful week. Friday Junior in the books. We're going to cap it off with an action-packed Impact tonight. It's going to be a fun one. Anthony will be here to join me. We got Kushida, we got Moose, we got the second match in the 3-match series between ABC and the Grizzled Young Vets, and we got so much more to talk about. Hashtag We Want Scott is still alive and well, but make sure you grab your snacks, grab your feel good, hit like, hit subscribe, and let's have some fun. Let's go! Ding, ding, ding. We're live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We are the channel that just covers more live wrestling than anyone else out there. Looking forward to TNA Impact tonight. Like I said, lots on the card, lots to talk about, lots to get into, including a lot of what's going on backstage, what's happening with Anthem. So myself and Anthony are going to get into all that fun stuff. I see that chat already blowing up. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and click that little bell. You never know when we're going to pop up with breaking news or original content, but we got lots to get into. Tomorrow night, we are back at it with SmackDown. We'll get a little bit of Rampage in there as it's on early tomorrow. And then Saturday night, of course, we have Wrestling Revolver. What a show. It's going to be a fun one. So, folks, when we tell you we cover more wrestling than anyone else, we actually do, and we really mean it. It's going to be a fun one again tonight. I've already said that, and I'm looking forward to it. I will remind you, I am Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, the place that runs the face that runs the place, or the place that runs the face. We'll call it whatever we will. But all that being said, I'm going to say hello to some people right out of the gate today, not waste any time. But AJ, looking forward to Moose and Kushida. I'm looking forward to this one as well. We saw Moose take on Alex Shelley last week, Kushida coming out to help as the System. Yes, the System, which is the faction that Moose is in the head of right now, definitely causing some trouble. So we'll see what is in store there. I believe Frankie Kazarian is going to take on Jake Something. So that should be an interesting matchup as well. What's up, Chambers? Welcome on back to the show. Hope you're doing well. What's your take on TNA wrestlers sent a letter to Anthem? I read this letter today. I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty. I know Anthony's going to talk about this a little bit more. He's been itching for it. But yeah, I mean, as expected, Scott D'Amore was a beloved member, or I don't know, member, head of the wrestling company known as TNA. And a lot of people are upset about it. Internally, externally, TNA felt like it had a whole lot of stuff going on. It was building. It was heading in the right direction. So yeah, a lot to dive into with this. Is it done? Is it over with? Will Anthem change their mind? I don't know, but this could really hinder all the progress Scott had made over the last little while. It felt like everything was clicking. We talked often about how it was becoming the number 2 wrestling company in North America. It was bypassing AEW with the one exception of not having a TV deal. But as far as overall content, overall product, overall buzz, TNA was doing all the right things. Hard to Kill was an outstanding pay-per-view, and it felt like everything was where you wanted it to be. However, this could change a lot. I hope not, but we will see. We will see. Do you guys see Scott coming back? Yeah, I don't know. They made a business decision, and it all depends on who you believe, what you've heard. I don't know if he will come back. I don't know. I'll ask Anthony when he gets here for sure. Dun, dun, dun. Roddy, good to see you. Good to see you. Did AEW improve last night in the last 20 minutes? It was so bad. I went to bed. Depends who you ask. Depends who you talk to. I know that people out there see the last 20 minutes, see a death match, see thumbtacks, and they're like, oh, this show is wonderful. I'm not that easy to impress, but we will talk about that. But without further ado, the chapeau that runs the show.
What's up?
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, good. Looking forward to Impact tonight. Looking forward to picking your brain and seeing where we're at on the latest of this ongoing TNA Scott D'Amore saga for sure.
I was pleasantly surprised about the things that came out today. I think it was good for the TNA roster to step up and say something.
Mhm.
You don't see that in most companies, like a whole roster stepping up to say something, but it was needed. Because we still don't know what the issue or why Scott D'Amore was fired. There's been rumors, there's been speculations. I've even heard one rumor that is not really known much to anybody said that Scott D'Amore was displacing money. Nothing has been nothing has been really set. So for the TNA roster to band together and say Scott D'Amore is, was, and will always be TNA wrestling, it was much needed to say because the roster deserves answers and the fans deserve answers as well.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, again, to your point, a lot of times in business, execs get fired or let go, and business goes on. Life goes on.
Right.
The show must go on. This has a different vibe to it because Scott really was the heart and soul of this. I've heard reports that the fact that he was such a face to the TNA movement was an issue. I don't know why that would be an issue, but
Yeah.
apparently it was. I have heard some rumblings about the money situation, but I heard there was a battle where Scott wanted more money to bring in the likes of Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, and others. And Anthem was like, no, 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 hold your horses. So Scott said, well, let me buy it. And they said, maybe you should just move on. So I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah, I mean nothing is really set in stone and nothing has been said, and it's crazy that we're a week in and it's still all of these rumors and speculations, and it's really, I don't know. It's really crazy, but I wasn't really expecting the TNA roster to say anything. And read as much as I possibly could of that letter because it was very long. I think it was like 5 paragraphs.
Yeah.
But the one word that was used most frequently was family.
Yes.
And I said that last week on our live stream that Scott D'Amore made a family with the TNA roster, and it
Hmm.
really stuck. You don't see that in most companies, not just in wrestling companies in general, but in the workforce. You don't see that. And
No.
Scott Moore somehow made that happen. And them using that word family several times in that entire letter to the Anthem management was what Scott D'Amore was.
Yeah, and I think ultimately, I think it was proven time and time again when we saw contracts expire, we were like, "Oh, they're going to WWE, they're going to AEW. Oh, the next big star." And then it was like Josh Alexander resigns, Moose resigns, Jordan Grace comes back, one after the other, with a couple of exceptions.
Mhm.
Kept coming back. We're very loyal to the brand. We're very loyal to Scott, and a lot of them credited Scott for that.
No, absolutely. Moose, on one hand, I believe signed the longest deal in
Yep.
TNA history,
Mhm.
because of Scott D'Amore. And I would be the first to go out on a limb and say that Moose was the one that spearheaded this whole letter to Anthem. Just from his tweet last week when he said that he needed to take a break, he needed to rethink things.
Mhm.
That's what he said in so many words in his tweet. I wouldn't pass Moose up for actually spearheading this whole idea of sending a letter to Anthem management.
Yeah, and I think that becomes the very interesting part of this story right now, Anthony, is how many wrestlers are going to need a break, or how many wrestlers like a Tommy Dreamer who was on a bit of an in and out, worked a little bit with the creative, where he throw like rumor is he's still going to be a part of the creative team moving forward. But we haven't talked to Tommy. I haven't heard that about Tommy. How many wrestlers like Moose go, I don't know about this anymore.
Right. I mean, that's it's a possibility that it could be a lot. Just knowing that they threw that out there at the end, which Nick didn't know last week. I don't want to use the word blindside, but he was pleasantly shocked when I told him that at the end of the Zoom call, Tommy Dreamer actually said, if you wanted to rethink your contract, we can talk about that privately. And Nick didn't know that. So for them to even say that, they know Scott built a family. They know people were behind Scott D'Amore. I believe the TNA roster was more behind Scott D'Amore than the actual TNA name. And the actual company, they were behind Scott D'Amore. And I can see, KJ, I can see people saying, I'm done. I can't do this anymore without Scott D'Amore being there.
Yeah, I felt like Scott could have walked in the room and said, we're going to call this Scotty's Playhouse from now on. Let's go. And everybody would have went, yeah, let's go. And just ran with them. Like they were that loyal. So to see now, like, I mean, the new guy, Anthony Ciccone, not, from what I gather, not a wrestling background, not a guy that is going to come in with a whole lot of wrestling experience. It's a dollars and cents move. And to me, ultimately, it feels like such weird timing.
No, absolutely. It is weird timing, especially coming off of Hard to Kill, coming off of the TNA name, coming off the biggest gate in, I believe, 8 years for TNA wrestling. And then right after that, it's like, boom, you're gone. And one of the rumors that we haven't even mentioned, KJ, was that Scott D'Amore apparently knew about his firing weeks in advance. Like, he went into Hard to Kill knowing that this could potentially be his last pay-per-view with TNA. So it's like, these rumors like are trying to ease the fans' mind in a way, but also rile the fans back up, because I still see every day hashtag we want Scott. And I don't know, this is one thing that, you know, that we said a lot during the Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Rock thing. Like, how are they going to fix this? How are they going to fix this? How is TNA Wrestling going to fix this? Because as much as we might be stepping into the future, I feel like you don't step into the future with Anthony Ciccone, if that's how you pronounce his last name, with no wrestling experience running a wrestling company.
No, it doesn't give you a whole lot of faith, right? You went from like this diehard guy who's been in wrestling for 30 plus years to Anthony, who's like, don't worry, we got this. And you're like, really, do we? So, and again, the momentum and everything that was behind it, we were talking about it taking over, like being the second biggest company or making waves, selling more tickets and having a whole lot of presence, to now going, what comes next? What's their next tapings like? Who's there? Who's not there? Who's disgruntled? So before we dive more into that, I know we're looking at just a few minutes away from the start. For those out there who don't know, we watch Impact on YouTube at 8:30, commercial free. So it's quick, it's easy, it's a nice watch. So be with us on that. It's very cheap and effective if you cannot find it on Access or anywhere else, if you don't have access to Access. But I will quickly say hello, AJ. See, we want Scott. I had to pull that up.
Yes.
But Damien's back with us. See Money, good to see you. Afif, I hope I said that correctly. Rehire Scott D'Amore. What's up, Keyshawn? Roddy, gotcha. Right. Daniel Price is with us. Chambers, tantalizing Mick. Roddy, got you again. Eric, how you doing? How you doing? Skittle back in the house. Eric? Who else we got? It's a lot of people. There you go. Richard Jr.'s with us. Nick Bray back at it again. How you doing, sir? Richard Martinez. All right, folks. We're looking forward to this one. Lots going on with the card tonight, Anthony. Looks really good. What's up, John? Latika. How are you? CM Unk, what's going on? Bash 8, always a pleasure. Todd Brown, let's start this. Let's go.
Let's get
it. But yeah, so tonight, lots going on. Moose taking on Kushida. Ash by Elegance will be in action, apparently.
Yes, so, Ash by Elegance. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I don't know who she's taking on. Do you?
No, it just said she will be making her debut tonight, so I don't know. We also got Jordan Grace against Savannah Evans. I guess this is like a Savannah Evans last chance match to be in Giselle Shaw's good graces. So we got a lot going on tonight.
There you go. The second match of the 2 out of 3 between Grizzled Young Vets and ABC. We thought Grizzled Young Vets were going to win the first one. They didn't, right? They're down 1-0.
Yeah, they're down 1-0 because the Vets won last time. Yep.
Right. Anthem hired the wrong Anthony. They need Anthony with the hat to run TNA. I second that motion. Let's go. Leaves ahead 2-0. Good. They were down 1-0 when I started this, so that's pretty good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Savannah Evans and Giselle have been together for quite a while. Of course, we know Giselle's relationship with Scott. That will be very interesting moving forward and very difficult.
Which I just found that out. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that until Scott D'Amore got fired. So
okay. You can also find it on YouTube if you're a member, 99 cents a month, half hour behind, no commercials. Yeah, that's how we do it. We could be here for the full 2 hours and watch some commercials, or we could watch it, in a condensed fashion, and nobody likes commercials. So
right.
That's the way we go.
Oh, Damian Heater actually said that this is happening tonight. Crazy Steve is defending his title against Rhino in his first defense since winning at Hard to Kill. I think he won at Hard to Kill. So yeah, that's happening tonight as well.
Let's go. That should be a fun one.
Yeah.
Rhino, who hasn't aged a day in 30 years. And Crazy
right.
He hasn't. He looks identical. It's amazing.
Exactly. He looks just the same. Todd down here is saying this is his first time watching TNA since 2018. Well, you're in for a wild ride tonight.
Good choice. Good choice.
Right. Good choice of night too, because like the card is up there. It's stacked.
It's actually a really stacked card. A lot going on this card, which is always good. And then even this weekend, we are covering Wrestling Revolver, the likes of Masha, Alex Shelley, the Rascals, Mansoor, Elias, ABC, the Bounty Hunter, all going to be on that show. Lance Archer as well. Like, we got a lot going on. Leo Rush. So a lot of TNA influence on Wrestling Revolver this weekend.
Okay. I'm going to have to watch on Wrestling Revolver on Saturday.
Yeah, it should be a good one. But here comes Jake Something.
Who is Jake Something fighting tonight? I don't remember.
Jake Something's fighting Frankie Kazarian.
Oh, that's right. This new diabolical Frankie Kazarian, I guess.
Yeah. Bit of an interesting match because Jake Something's been on a bit of a upward trajectory since his return.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, we got evil Frankie.
Right. Evil Frankie. So I watched, while we wait for the entrances, I watched AEW for the first time last night in probably about 5 weeks, and I don't know why I watched it. I really don't.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was waiting for
the main event was great. The main event was really solid, and I think the segment with Samoa Joe and Hangman Adam Page and Swerve was really entertaining as well.
Yes.
But after that, I don't. It was just for the AEW.
Yeah. That's what I find. Like, and again, I do the Wednesdays a lot, and it just every week I start off very optimistic and very hopeful and hope the show delivers. And as we get through each match, as the night goes on, by the end, I'm like, why are we doing all this stuff that makes no sense? And as much as like some of the fans out there was like, that was an amazing Dynamite. What an event. What a main event. I'm like, that was 15 minutes of 2 hours.
That was 15 minutes of a 2-hour programming. That was great.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute. And my biggest issue is you do these hardcore matches. Sorry. You do these hardcore matches, but they don't really fit. It's just like chaos for the sake of chaos. And maybe I'm being too picky. Right?
I feel like sometimes they just throw in these hardcore matches just to be the alternative. WWE is not doing hardcore matches, so let's just do a random hardcore match tonight and have blood everywhere. That's kind of how I feel.
Right, a little bit. And again, if like my beef is if you're going to fight Roddy at the pay-per-view in 2 weeks, why are you fighting one of his buddies in a hardcore match and then going to fight for the title at the pay-per-view in a normal match?
Right.
In a straight up singles. Like, to me, the progression doesn't matter. Both guys tore it down, though. I'll give them credit. But who are you taking in this one? Kazarian or something?
Ugh. Odd choice here, but I think I'm gonna take Kazarian since he just really turned heel.
Okay. Yeah, he's got to cheat to win.
Yeah.
I'll go something just for the sake of being different, but Kazarian's got to. Oh shit! Not a good start for Frankie.
Yeah. Kind of
Bro, I'm watching
flung out
TNA.
the ring by something.
There you go. Jake something is a beast of a human being.
Yeah.
Kaz for the win. He's name dropping Scott a lot. Who? Now we got to remember these episodes were kind of taped, so you are going to get Scott Demore references, and that's always the funny part. Like we have people who get injured who are still on tapings, so what we get might be very counterintuitive
Right.
to what happened.
Like last week we got Trinity and she's no longer with the company, so
Right.
these shows were taped in advance. So Todd down here is asking, is TNA hardcore? At times it's hardcore. Like if you watch any Monsters Ball match, you're in for a treat, especially
Mhm.
the one that happened between man, I think it was Crazy Steve and Trey
And
Miguel.
Trey?
Crazy Steve and Trey Miguel,
Oh,
February 2023. That match was, if you talk about hardcore, that match was it.
that was one of my favorite matches of the year.
Yeah.
It really was. I thought they completely tore it down. I want a ladies tag team Monsters Ball between MK Ultra and Decay. You know, that's my fantasy booking.
I would love that to happen.
Mhm. No, TNA's a good mix of solid wrestling,
Mhm.
solid up and comers who are trying to make a name, or some people that have previously been elsewhere who are trying to reestablish their name. And then there is, you know, some night Steve Macklin's head's flapping at you, and you're trying not to puke because it's gross. You know, just crazy.
Oh, Kazarian just hits something with a chop and he didn't even move.
Not even flinching.
Oh,
Kenny King returned to Ring of Honor tonight. KJ Anthony, is that is he actually returning to Ring of Honor tonight? Because I mean, he was a real good staple for TNA.
yeah, he really was. And it was sad that he requested his release because I was a big fan of Kenny King, but it seems like he kind of just wanted to move on from TNA.
Hmm. Now, okay, just dragging him down to the ground by his face.
Yeah, Kazarian is definitely embracing this heel role.
Well, it's something new for him. Did you see the 12-man graphic for Rampage? Bang Bang Scissor Gang versus Jeff Jarrett in the Dark Order. I did see this. I just actually sent it to Nick about 5 minutes ago before we went live because tomorrow Rampage is on at 7 p.m. And we will not be here at the start of Rampage. We'll be here at our usual time, 7:30. And I sent him this graphic of like, look what they did.
Is
Wild
this
man.
the episode of Rampage where Jeff Hardy is potentially injured? Is
That's
this the
tomorrow.
okay?
Yeah, because they taped it. So for those who don't know, Sammy Guevara landed on Jeff Hardy's face and knocked him out cold.
Yeah,
Not good. Not
that's
good.
not good at all.
Oh, springboard leg drop. Frankie.
Roddy, you might be watching on Access TV. So we're on the first match, which is Frankie Kazarian versus Jake something. They
Mhm.
could already be on that match. Match number 2 for Ace and Bay Club and the Grizzly Young Vet. So you might be ahead of us.
Yeah, just rewind and go back to Jake something and Kazarian. We're all good.
Right.
No, I'll remind everyone again, we are watching on YouTube. We have the opening match, Jake something, Kazarian. And yeah, we will go to commercial free. So at some point, we'll catch you, Roddy.
Ooh, that was like a spinning forearm by Jake something.
Yeah, athletic, big man. Crowd giving them the applause. Jake something's a guy that could go after Moose sooner than later.
Yes, yeah. But you know, I would have said this under Scott Demore's, TNA, but I really thought or was thinking that Nick Nemeth was going to be the next challenger, but I don't know with Scott Demore being gone. So I'm interested to see if they'll push Jake something to be in that position to take on Moose because I feel like that'll be a really solid match.
Oh, absolutely. Two big boys, definitely. I'd be in.
Ooh.
Oh, huge
I
Michinoku
think I
driver.
want to change my pick to Jake something.
Jake is cooking. Anytime someone mentions Leo Rush, I think Lashley. Oh, those days of Leo and Bobby Lashley. Dun, dun, dun. AEW lost over 200,000 viewers by the end of the show. They lost over 100,000 during the first quarter after changing the channel from Big Bang.
Ooh.
It's something they need to address. And definitely, I know people don't love talking about the ratings, Anthony, but I always look at it in the microcosm of it's an analytic. It helps you understand the bigger picture. There's more to it, but if we know there's potentially up to 3 million, 3.5 million viewers in the wrestling realm, and you have 800,000 of them, and at times you've had 900,000 or 1 million, why is it going the other way? So if 2 weeks ago you did 818, last week you do 805. I don't know what they did this week overall, but that to me says that you're losing your own fan base.
No, absolutely. Ratings is fickle nowadays because it's important and then it's not important. Back in early, who is that? Is that Dina?
I think it's
Oh
is that
no.
no, it's Eric. Is it
Oh,
Eric?
that's Eric Young. Okay. Crazy. That's right, because he still has this kind of feud with
Yeah.
Frankie Kazarian. But yeah, back in 2010s, 2011, 2012, ratings was really, really important. Now that streaming is, kind of a hit, ratings are not as important. But if you look at AEW is not easily accessible as honestly TNA and WWE. You really can't rewatch a TNA, AEW episode unless you're on like the TBS app or the TNT app. And you can't like just kind of watch it throughout the week. So when you're losing viewers during your live programming, it's kind of difficult. You kind of got to go back to the drawing board and say, what are we doing wrong here?
Oh wow, Kazarian steals the win.
Just stole the win.
Get out. After taking an absolute beating, he steals one. Kaz on a roll.
Yeah. They're definitely going to be pushing Kaz over the next couple of weeks, couple of months here.
But no, you're not wrong. And that again, I think when I look at it, my big thing is watching it over the course of a show. If you had an audience of 850,000, 900,000, whatever it is, at the beginning of the show, and it dips by 100,000 people by the end, well, you can't say it doesn't matter. Like 100,000,
Right.
150,000 people didn't clip their cable during the show.
Right. No, absolutely. Like I said, you kind of got to go back to the drawing board and see what are we doing wrong that we're not holding the viewers for at least the entirety of the episode or over a half of it,
As we're backstage with Eric Young. By the way, Kaz cheated.
He did. Absolutely cheated. And you called it. You called it. He was like,
had
he's gonna have to cheat to win.
Man, this is a guy that I wish WWE would have done so much more with.
Yeah, so much
Such
more,
a good
especially
promo.
with the sanity group and everything. Ah.
Hey, here comes Jordan Grace.
So we're about to have Jordan Grace versus Savannah Evans. Can Savannah Evans get back in Giselle Shaw's good graces? I don't think she can.
No, she in trouble.
Right.
The Juggernaut. I love that she's the Juggernaut. Looking good. Scott, thank you so much for the super chat. Goldilocks has a new single and video. By Goldilocks, do you mean Jericho? Or is there a band? Is there a band? I don't know. See, Savannah Evans is like the Tamina of TNA Impact.
Yeah, that's kind of right. Never gets that real moment, but
Right?
she's just like the workhorse of TNA.
Yeah, always there, always like good when you use her, but that's it. She doesn't go up the card, she doesn't go down the card, she's just on the card at times.
Right, right.
Are they still going to show the match between Jeff versus Sammy, or is it canceled? KJ and Anthony. If I was Tony Khan, being that Rampage is taped and hasn't gone live to air, I would be taking that match out completely.
Right. Right.
Now, I'm not Tony Khan though.
Did they even finish the match?
No, he was.
No, they called it. Okay.
They had to stop it. He was clearly visibly shaken and bloody.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Giselle at ringside with that big old X.
Yeah, Savannah doesn't have a chance, and I feel bad for her. It's like, what's next after this if you're not in Giselle Shaw's shadow?
Yeah, what happens then? Big suplex. TNT and TBS apps kind of suck. I don't know.
They do. They
Do
do.
they?
Yes, it's terrible.
Want to know. Oh, they did 811 this week. So in between the 2 weeks. That's again, I keep saying people keep giving me shit, Anthony, because I say that AEW started off 24 like real slow and not with the best of product. And people go, you just hate AEW. I'm like, the numbers are going the wrong direction. Help me. I'm not the only one that feels this way.
No, it's the truth. And we've talked about it numerous times on here that they didn't have much hype going into 2024 like WWE did and like TNA did with the name change and Hard to Kill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what, again, going back to our previous conversation, that really surprised everybody, I think, is because there was just so much momentum behind TNA. And now we're all kind of playing a waiting game.
Like, yeah, what are we going to do next? Especially since Scott D'Amore is gone.
Like, will No Surrender be the first official thing without him?
That's the case, yeah, because next week's Impact is recorded as well. So the No Surrender would definitely be the first show without Scott D'Amore.
That would be very intriguing. You see if people are wearing like Scotty armbands and shit.
Which I can see that actually happening. Or we want Scott signs out there.
Ooh. We're probably going to get We Want Scott chance. Oh my God. Jordan Grace with a muscle buster. Ooh. Sorry, Savannah.
Oh, there goes Giselle Shaw taking Jordan Grace out with the X.
I blame Jordan. She should have known.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and she takes out Savannah.
This is the interesting part of this. Sick of your shit too.
Oh, wait, she's setting up for something. Ooh. Ooh, that
What
was
I
a
do like,
sneaky.
what I do like about this is
Huh?
Giselle feeling legitimate, like Giselle
Yeah.
not feeling playful.
No, absolutely. It's been a long time coming for her to have that intensity, and I think this is the right moment. Jordan Grace, I feel like brings the best out of a lot of the knockouts on the roster.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think she wins though yet. I don't
No,
think so. I'm still calling it at Rebellion. If they run this match back, I'm calling it at Rebellion that she wins the
okay,
knockout.
all right, all right. Scott says Goldilocks, who used to be in TNA, has a band. Oh, there you go. Oh, right over my head, Scotty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who are you?
Yeah, who is he?
Good evening, brother Fluff.
Oh, okay. This is the introduction of Ash by Elegance.
Oh, her personal concierge.
Yeah.
You know what? This is not bad because Ash is not the greatest of promos, so having an annoying concierge might work.
Exactly.
Who in the Rudy Blue Hell?
Yeah, I like this pairing. I like this pairing. I'm interested in this. I am interested in this. So next week she makes her in-ring debut.
I thought it was this week, but okay, next week. They're milking it. They're milking it.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
I see someone in the TNA chat that says Gia has that face on like what just happened?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. She even said when he first walked in, "Who are you?" And I'm like, everybody just said the same thing. Who are you? Why are you here? All right, all right. Okay. What did you think about this? Now, I saw you react last week. Simon Gosh.
That was interesting. That was interesting. And I think I said to Nick though, Nick, that Scott Demore has a good way of hiding these people coming in because that was
Mhm.
not spoiled at all.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, like a pre-recorded segment like they did with Mustafa Ali. No, he was actually there in the crowd and then showed up and attacked from behind. So yeah, I'm completely shocked.
Yeah, it didn't get leaked at all. That was my
Yeah,
big, like you said, big surprise with that. Um, and Allen Angels' new attitude works really well.
I really like it. Yeah.
Bring back I like the vaudevillains. I like their entrance. I like the way they delivered. I know people disagree with me about it, but I thought they were great.
I thought the Vault villains were great. So I would like to see a small reunion in TNA.
Yeah. Interesting.
I,
Interesting.
I wonder if he signed yet. I don't know. They didn't have a signed graphic for him, so I wonder if this is like kind of a one-off or did he sign with the company?
Yeah. Any reason announced why Scott? No, nothing more official
Uh,
as of right now.
Yeah,
A lot of speculation and rumors, but nothing solid. And you know what? I think the wrestling skeptic, and I said it to you when we first talked about it, of like, uh-oh, I hope
mhm.
this isn't something because we're so used to like so and so was fired, and then some crazy story comes out about some secret life or some shit. But with all the support of the wrestlers and the family and everything coming around it, It was just simply a business move by the looks of it.
Right. It seems like it was just like he was pushed out.
Yeah,
And like you said, no scandal, no nothing behind it. It was like, we're just gonna put this guy in as the new president. Scott, you're out of here. And I
right.
think that's what really has fans and as of today, the TNA roster really upset.
Very. Still, Mark Briscoe should go to TNA. I like what I'm seeing. I love Mark Briscoe. I wish he would be used more.
Mark and Jay had a run with the
Yeah,
titles back in 2022. I mean, they were
yeah,
booked really well in TNA. A lot of people are booked really well in TNA.
yeah. When that was Mark and Jay when they were winning belts everywhere, and yeah, they had a
Yeah.
really good run in TNA. We're going back to a replay of. Is that?
Is that Speedball? No, that's
Yeah,
not
is that
Speedball.
Speedball?
I'm not sure
Courtesy
who
of
that is.
Destiny Wrestling. Oh no, it's Gosh. It's Mustacheless Gosh.
Ah,
So this
okay.
we're talking about 5 years ago. They had a very violent match, and nobody talks about it. All right, all right, all right.
So
Some long-term storytelling.
that's why he attacked Josh Alexander last week, because that was kind of odd for him to just attack him like that.
Right. Shout out to Aiden English. He once upon a time, prior to doing this,
Mhm.
we where I was working interviewed Aiden English, one of the most well-spoken, down-to-earth, super dudes I've ever met, ever.
Oh, that's cool.
Super nice guy.
Yeah,
And he could just talk for days. You didn't even have to, it wasn't an interview. It was just like,
him
oh, and
talking.
he just talked. It's good. Okay.
Hmm. Oh, Josh Alexander breaking in this interview.
Well, he asked the question, does Josh have the fortitude? And we all know he does.
Oh, oh, they just went at it. I wonder if they're gonna put this match on No Surrender next Friday.
Yeah, quite possible. What do you think? This kind of comes out of left field, but they're trying to build it up, playing on the history.
Yeah, playing on that long-term storytelling.
Not
I
for
gotta
sure.
like it though. And having Simon talk about it and then showing the clip and everything, I think that was a perfect move.
Right. Up next, folks, we get the Grizzled Young Vets taking on ABC, match number 2. As
And it's
they took
definitely gonna
match
be
number 1.
ABC. ABC definitely has to win.
Yes. There you go. Gonna take a missing poster with Scott D'Amore's picture on it. Have you seen this man?
And surprisingly, he's been very quiet, hasn't said not a word. He might be missing for real.
Right? Yeah, I wonder if he's just doesn't, just let everyone else do the talking and see, because
Yeah.
I think he feels that he runs the risk. I think if he's too vocal, he's never
Mhm.
getting back in. His only hope is that they see the light without him screaming for it.
Okay,
I
okay.
think. I think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Dun, dun, dun. I fear Dana Brooke may be consistently compared to Tony Storm's gimmick, not the different era, but the elegant look and the valet pairing Tony has. Well, except Tony's valet doesn't talk at all, and Ashes doesn't shut up.
Right, because he talked that entire time. I think Ash said like 3 words.
Yep.
My TNA Impact debut is next week, so that's more than 2 words, but yeah. And it's not the black and white screen, and I don't really think she's giving off the presence of 70s, 80s, actress either.
Yeah, we're definitely not going that. She's not doing the Monroe route. I get the idea on the surface, but I think if on the surface it's easy to say, well, that's just like this. But when you actually see what it is, it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
She's not playing a crazy lady who thinks she's from back in the day. She's now like she's a modern woman who's just above everybody. She's luxurious, and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
I
see. I really think it was just the outfit she wore at Hard to Kill
Yeah.
because it was black and white, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's Tony Storm, Timu Tony Storm, or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be."
I hear Nick's voice now. Who do you got in this one? It's got to be ABC, right?
Yeah, it has to be ABC. I don't see them losing the titles on a random episode of Impact, so it has to
No.
be ABC.
Dun dun dun. Do you
I
think
really thought ABC was going to win the first match, and I was kind of shocked that they gave it to the vets. So, yeah, they got to win tonight.
right? Ash by Elegance is more of an uppity, snooty, Trudy variety. Well put him. Do you think that Joe Henry winning versus Cody Deaner? I hope so. I never want Joe to lose.
Right, because we believe in Joe Hendry.
We do. It just why'd you clap? I don't know. I want to see Joe do more, actually.
Yes. I thought after he lost the digital media championship, they were going to kind of push him into that main event scene, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
They put him in that tag team with
Yuya?
Yeah, Yuya Yamura, and that lasted briefly because he was fired, shortly after.
And actually, he made that work. He even like bringing Yuya into the song, and
Yeah,
I think Joe's a great talent.
he really is, and I think he's creative as well. He's very creative.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the guy that can be goofy and playful, but ding ding, he can really wrestle.
Yeah, he's very serious once that bell hits, and like you say, he can really wrestle as well.
Have you been checking out is it Fusion? Explosion?
I have not. I think it's been 3 episodes
Okay.
so far, so I kind of got to catch up. Hopefully this weekend, since it's a 3-day weekend in the States. If you're a federal employee, so it's
There you go.
President's Day.
Yeah, I don't think we have a holiday. No. I'm trying to think. Like, do we get one? No. Yeah, folks. Right now we got Grizzled Young Vets and ABC. Who you taking? I imagine the payoff's going to be at No Surrender.
Yeah, I would think so. I think that's why they've held off with announcing it. I think after tonight's show or in the next couple of days, they'll announce that the ending of this will be at No Surrender.
Yeah. How come ABC never seen on AEW? Because they do not work there, Keyshawn. Grizzled Young Vets will change their name to GCES from Grizzled Young Vets to Grilled Cheese Sandwiches. Sometimes I wonder why I click. Funny guy. Tony Storm isn't even elegant. She's a hot mess cosplaying an old actress. There you go.
That's exactly right. I like that.
Yeah, if Ash starts saying things about, her tits and throwing shoes, then we'll talk about it. But right now it looks like they're playing to like they know, or at least she knows, that maybe the promo is not her best skill, and they got her a mouthpiece. It works.
It worked, exactly. And even in TNA, if they didn't give her, someone to speak for her, they probably would have given her time to improve as well.
Yep.
But to kick it off with giving her somebody to talk for her, I think that's perfect.
Yeah, limit her talking pieces to the pre-tapes and stuff, and then let her develop, let her time. And that's TNA's always done that really well with letting people develop.
No, absolutely. And I'm excited to see what happens over the course of her time in TNA.
Yes. But yeah, this match rolling along right now. The Grizzly Young Vets are all over Ace Austin after hurting his shoulder last week. I will remind everyone out there, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Make sure you join us. We're back at it tomorrow. We'll be here at 7:30 for SmackDown as in the second half of Rampage as it's going on early. So we have an AEW light weekend, Anthony, as Rampage is not on after SmackDown and Collision is not on Saturday.
Collision is not on Saturday because of the NBA game?
Facts.
Or okay. I would think they would try to move it to another night, but I guess because their theme song is Saturday night, they can't do that.
Yeah, in the past they've like dropped it in on a Friday, but I guess if you had to move Rampage, then what do you do? Go like 5, 6 o'clock, then 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
They're kind of pooched. So yeah, it's just not happening. So we will be here for Wrestling Revolver instead. Three episodes of that show have been really good, Damien says. I guess of Explosion.
Yep, of Explosion. Man, the Grizzly Young Vets have the upper hand here. ABC got to take control somehow.
Yeah, AJ pointing out they're vicious, and they are. They're very aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't stop.
Oh, that was close. That was a 2 count. Austin trying to get to Bay.
Got him by the legs. Nice.
I feel bad for ABC. Like he's keeping him grounded in the middle of the ring. Like, you're not moving. You're not getting to Bay.
Yeah. Super smooth step over to get down back onto his shoulders. Nice. What are your thoughts on PCO versus Khan?
2 big men slapping meat.
Facts.
That's what's happening at No Surrender.
And when we say slap, we mean like really fucking slap with these two.
Yeah. Come on, Ace. Man.
Oh, AJ, don't do that to me. People are already mad about picture in picture. Never mind picture in picture.
Right. I mean, they were mad to the point where USA Network had to say something about it. I like Smile Mark's comment up here. He said, Naomi leaving have anything to do with Scott's departure or perhaps the Jordan Grace WWE partnership? Anthem perhaps didn't agree. I did for a split second think it was about Naomi leaving and you having a top star depart the company. But then I realized WWE was actually after Naomi early in 2023. But apparently they were on a hiring freeze, which I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So she had wind up signing with TNA for a year or 9 months or whatever the case may be. So I think it was already planned for Naomi just to be in TNA for a shorter period of time until she left. So I don't know if it perhaps that. I have heard rumors about maybe it was the partnership with WWE and Jordan Grace going over there for the Royal Rumble. So that could be the case as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the Naomi thing, and again, somehow we always try and tie it back to the WWE. But yeah, no, I think they've had plenty. I believe if everybody who was paying attention within the company, they've had plenty of good talent come in on short-term contracts, and they were okay with that. So to me, that wouldn't surprise them or us. The partnership, I mean, I imagine Scott didn't just surprise them. Like the people from Anthem were sitting around being like, Jordan showed up where? Like they did it the year before with Mickey.
Right.
Oh, we got the
Oh,
tag.
okay, it's finally in the ring.
Roll through.
Wait.
Up. Oh. You chuckling
Man,
about?
he moves so fast, like I can't even keep up with him. Come on, Bay. Come on, ABC.
Big clothesline off the top. ABC for the win. They need it. They need it. I love when the match heats up like this, and you just it makes you wonder how the WWE didn't do more with these guys.
Right.
Even as Schism, which was stupid on its face, but as the creepy duo, they just put them in matches and let them look like this. Wow. What a brain buster.
Everything is just like moving in so fast since Chris Bay got in the ring.
He does everything with such intensity.
Yeah.
Big sweep. Big. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, that was close. That was almost a 3 count.
Wow. As Ace Austin can't pull off the assisted, the 1-2. Wow. Really playing up that elbow as Bakeout swatted out of the air. Yeah. I like when the commentators say what we say.
Uh-oh. Is this it? Oh,
wow.
He kicked out. I really thought they were about to lose the titles.
Ooh.
Like, I'm so into this match that we stopped talking.
Yeah, that's good. I'm okay with that. So we always say that, if we're paying attention to the wrestling, it's doing its job.
Right.
But yeah, Chris Bay kicks out of the Doomsday device, or the pin after the Doomsday device. They're just laying into him now. They're really
Chris
making you think it's going to be 2 straight. What a match. It's one of my favorite matches this week.
Yeah.
And see, folks, no thumbtacks necessary.
You can have good wrestling without that violent mess sometimes.
Time and place.
Ace is calling for the tag.
ABC should conceptually lose the titles by DQ. ABCD? Is that why?
Ooh, come on, Ace.
Not bad, AJ. Not bad.
Targeting the arm now.
Absolutely. What a match. Uh-oh. ABC definitely winning this match. There's Bay. Roll up!
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
What a match. Wow.
It was one of the best matches of this week.
Yeah.
What a match. And good tag team wrestling still does exist, my friends.
Exactly. It's out there. You
It
just
is.
might have to move away from WWE.
Facts. Chris Bay, Alex Shelley, ABC with a huge win, setting up the third and final match between these two teams.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to a third match between these two.
Yeah. I'm having my fingers crossed for No Surrender. I hope it's happening then. Wow.
Fandango. Speedball Mike Alexander. Yes, they are, Damien.
What is this?
By the way, we got Dirty Dango on the screen, and yeah, just mixing up everyone's name, asking about PWI Insider, PWI rankings.
What number at the bottom of the screen?
So
I
they're
don't know
looking.
what all that was.
Basically, Dirty Dango is looking for tag matches.
I like MDB's comment down here. Call your doctor if you have a dirty dango.
Gentlemen out there, this is my public service announcement for the night. Keep your dango not dirty. Nobody likes a dirty dango.
Right. Nobody likes that.
2-0, 2-0. Now we're getting a Chris Sabin package
with Mustafa Ali's voiceover, so it's
yeah.
kind of giving the history of the X division a little bit.
Basically politicking to take over the X division.
Mm-hmm. In Ali, we trust.
Does that not feel like the perfect place for Mustafa Ali in wrestling?
Perfect. Somewhere where he can hone into his abilities, his creative abilities, his wrestling abilities. TNA is it for him. You know, I think this is the perfect place for him.
Right? Oh, these are Ali supporters?
I think so.
That's not a good look.
Like Chris Sabin was like, this looks pathetic.
Yeah.
This fan just said to Chris Sabin, like, it looks like you're cracking under pressure.
Oh.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. Remember to spay and neuter your dangos. God damn it. Nobody likes a dirty dango. Go.
So it looks like we got the Digital Media Championship match up next. Rhino versus Crazy Steve.
Absolutely. A pretty good night. I mean, if you look at, you know, coming off the tag team match we just had, now we're getting a digital media title match. Thank you, TNA. Because I didn't like Wednesday. I didn't like Tuesday. So Thursday, here we go.
Right. And I checked out on Monday Night Raw. So like halfway through, I was like, yeah, that's enough for me tonight.
Ali 2024. Let's go, folks.
It's a good idea to actually have this like political type gimmick in 2024, since we are having the US presidential election this year. So it was like I think he kind of timed that kind of right.
Yep. No, it fits. It fits. And everyone's kind of got that political buzz, especially in your neck of the woods, or like, not my neck of the woods, but we're also having our own issues. But yeah, no, for sure. So I think it's good. And again, I think the X division is like, of all the possible landing spots, people talk about AEW and whatever,
Mhm.
but being the face of the X division, that's something Ollie could do for the next 2, 3, 4 years. Like,
Really, he really can. And I don't know if he's officially signed yet. Nothing has been said, but maybe we get that announcement at No Surrender that he's officially signed. But TNA is somewhere where I feel like he will thrive the most, and his
yeah,
name will get out there even further.
I agree. And they'll definitely utilize him. They'll give him the time. They'll let him have his promo. They'll let him have his vignettes. I mean, if Dango
Mhm.
can get random vignettes that make no sense, Ali can have a few.
Exactly. Man,
Chris
Crazy
Sabin.
Steve scares me.
I love it. I love ever since he kind of flipped the switch, I think
Mhm.
it's so good for Steve. I felt like it took him a little too long to beat Dreamer, but
Yeah.
he finally did it. So that's all right.
He definitely should have beat Dreamer in the first match. I think they had right after Bound for Glory.
Yeah,
He definitely should have beat him then, but as long as he eventually beat him, I was okay with it.
right. The Scarecrow of TNA, apparently, according to someone. What's the next match? So right now we got Rhino and Crazy Steve in a digital media championship, and Rhino going for tables.
Right, and they just said on commentary this is a standard wrestling match. So what we bringing out tables for?
Rhino said, "Hell, the hell with that."
I'm looking at the TNA chat, and this lady put in their standard, but with a table.
We all have different standards, my friend. In Ollie, we trust. Banned from diving.
Who's
I don't know what
banned
that's
from
referring to.
diving?
Crazy Steve for the win. Yeah, I don't see Rhino beating Crazy Steve. Not now.
Crazy Steve said, "No, we putting the table right back under this ring."
I like it.
Wow.
Yeah, the irony of Crazy Steve being like, nope, nope.
To put it back under the ring, not just
Yeah.
like leave it there. He's like, "No, I'm gonna put it back under the ring. You don't deserve the table. The crowd doesn't deserve the table."
This man who was like using a fork on the forehead of Dreamer a month ago.
Right.
It's like, no, we're not doing this table thing there, Rhino.
And I guess the fork comment goes into what MDB says up here. I'm just glad Crazy Steve isn't out here forking people again.
Uh, oh, rude.
Yeah.
Rude.
And with that move, Crazy Steve like kind of slowed the match down because Rhino was going a mile a minute.
Yeah, if anything's gonna slow the match down, a ring rope to the junk will definitely do that.
Right.
I don't slow shit down in a quick hurry. No ECW wrestler ever just wrestled a standard wrestling match. I'll accept that. Is the main event Moose? Yes.
Yes.
Is that his new nickname, Main Event Moose?
Ah, That kind of goes together. M-E-M.
Main event Moose in the house. It's Moose and Shelly at No Surrender, correct?
Yes, Moose and Shelly at No Surrender and a No Surrender match. I think that's what it's called.
All right.
Yeah. So I think someone has to throw in the white towel for
Oh,
the
okay.
opponent. Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm thinking, is that Chris Sabin? Chris Sabin throwing the towel on Shelly?
Throwing in the towel. Because it'd be somebody from the system for, Moose. It could be either Sabin or Kushida, but I can definitely see it being more Sabin than Kushida.
Yeah. Especially if Ali beat Sabin earlier in that night.
Right.
Dun dun dun. Rhino setting up for the gore.
Oh, we spoke about forks too soon.
Man, you got to keep Steve out of catering. Shit.
Oh. That was it. Wow.
So it's more like psychological Steve tonight.
Then aggressive and
Crazy.
forcing people, Steve.
Jericho
That's
and
why he
Rhino.
keeps pointing to his head too. Like, yeah, it's all psychological tonight.
Yeah. There you go. Jericho and Rhino have the same build. What? Yeah, if you turned Rhino's chest upside down, him and Jericho have the same build. You had to flip Rhino's chest and okay. Well adjusted, Steve.
Yeah, so it looks like Moose and Kushida will be the main event. But next we got Joe Hendry. Gotta do the clap. You gotta do the clap.
And PCO just growled through a whole fucking promo there. His main noises. Rebellion, April 21st, a Sunday pay-per-view.
Oh, is it?
Oh no, the Impact's on the Sunday.
Okay, yeah, the Impact
Rebellion is on the Saturday, April 20th.
Okay.
420 with Impact. Let's go. We will be here live for that, like we are live for all the wrestling folks. So don't forget, if you are new here, make sure you hit like and subscribe. We take a prediction on every single wrestling match we cover, and we take a rating out of 10 at the end of every show. We're back at it tomorrow for SmackDown, and we're here all week long for all your wrestling. Heading towards Elimination Chamber, heading towards Revolution, heading towards WrestleMania. And don't forget No Surrender in there as well.
Got a lot of stuff coming up on the channel.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
Uh-oh. He has a rap for Joe Hendry.
I don't believe in Joe Henry. I have to say this, Anthony.
Uh-huh.
He can't rap. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure if you gave me 15 minutes and a napkin, I could probably pull off something a little bit better.
I mean, it's decent. I mean, it's okay. Nice. I can't really judge rap because outside I don't listen to rap, but I mean it's okay.
But
doesn't seem like
listen,
the crowd was feeling it though. It doesn't seem like the crowd was feeling it at all.
no,
Yeah, and a lot of people in the Impact chat are saying this is trash. This is a
it,
trash.
it's not good. But I do like the fact that he responded to Joe in his own kind of way, right? I don't believe in Joe Henry or Hendry. I think it's a nice touch.
Yeah.
He just sucks at it. I think Joe could probably pull out a rap better.
No, agreed. He definitely could. He definitely could.
AJ sucks.
I feel like though Joe Hendry can do another song and do it way better.
Joe Hendry. That hurt.
Wait, a backup video. Uh-oh, he has a backup video.
He is so good. I've been doing this to people all along. Well, here you go.
Uh-oh, he's rolling the footage. Oh.
Oh.
Get ready to dive. I quit. To AJ Styles' old theme song. I can't do this.
See, I told you you could do a better rap.
You are banned from diving.
Every time you dive, you land on your ass. I don't know if anyone's watching TNA right now, but man, my couldn't dive here, so you went to the sea. Three hot women and your best friend Steve.
It's the AJ Styles music.
Yeah.
Banned from diving.
It's gonna be stuck in your head all night. You're gonna be laying in bed tonight, like banned from diving.
That's perfect.
Sup, Sean? How you doing? How you doing?
Oh man.
And he gets jumped by Diener. Is No Surrender next Friday? Yes, it is. We will be pulling double duty. Eric Young and Frank Xarian face to face next week should be good. So AJ now, yeah. Oh, huge choke slam. God, I love Joe Hendry. Yeah, we all think this is funny, AJ. Hey, Rich Swan. AJ, turn around.
Well, does he not see him?
Do you not hear any of the kerfuffle? Banned from diving.
I like that, banned from diving.
I love that it was on the AJ music and they were doing the gloves.
Yeah. Man, that was a perfect song. You called it though. You were like, he can rap better than and he literally did that seconds later.
Man, and yeah, no, he delivered. He definitely showed up and showed out. The blow up doll with the face and then just throwing it into the top rope is the best. I'm sorry, I'm easily amused sometimes. Oh, what's up, Jake, the aerial assassin? How you doing? Up next, Killer Kelly, Danny Luna.
Oh,
Oh,
Steve Macklin attacking Nick Nemeth.
in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Hurricane Jason. I like this comment. I like that a lot. Ooh. I wish Tony Khan wasn't so stubborn and Jericho and Jackson's weren't running AEW. Scott D'Amore would make AEW a better wrestling organization. With that would make money. Could you imagine Scott D'Amore with a budget, like an actual budget?
Oh man, you talk about Scott D'Amore having a budget, man. Easily one of the best wrestling shows on TV. If Scott D'Amore has a budget and a pen in his hand to write the product.
No, a lot of people talked about the potential of Scott D'Amore going to WWE or going to AEW. Sure, he could probably help both companies. I do think the problem with AEW is even if he has good ideas, the buck stops with Tony.
Yep.
And again, with WWE, is he just part of the machine where his segments are good, but he doesn't have an overall impact? You know what I mean?
Right.
I honestly think he should try and buy NWA away from Billy Corgan.
No, I think I heard you say that earlier, and I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah, just buy that and then run it and
Mm-hmm.
make that one of the best promotions out there. I don't know if it can become the biggest, but one of the best promotions out there.
Yeah, well, just do for NWA what you did for Impact. And
Right.
if you book well enough and you get behind it well enough, and especially if it was like the we want Scott movement of like, I'm going here, follow me. It could be
Yeah,
true. Like it could work. I know it's a bit of a pipe dream, but it's that kind of company that Scott would do well rebuilding.
exactly. Yeah. He's good at rebuilding companies. We literally seen what he did with TNA. So, um, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
I agree with you, Sean. Any predictions or thoughts on MK Ultra, Decay, No Surrender?
I'm going with Decay to retain. I really wish this was a stipulation type match, some type of, like you mentioned earlier, a Monsters Ball match. Because I really think all four of these women can handle it. So I'm kind of disappointed in that aspect, but I think Decay is going to retain.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Was this match announced? Because I don't remember seeing it on the. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I didn't know this one was happening.
Yeah.
And Danny is hanging out with Jody Threat.
Yeah, they've been hanging out for the past couple of weeks. I
Okay.
think they're trying to make them a tag team in TNA, and we do need some more tag teams in the Knockouts division.
Jody Threat looks like she works at a bowling alley. Okay, so yeah, they're definitely trying to establish them as a tag team threat.
Yeah.
No mashup.
Yeah.
I'm with you, MDB. Give MK Ultra those belts.
Ooh. Danny doesn't play. She just goes full speed.
I feel like Danny has put on muscle.
I think she has too, especially since her first go around earlier last year with TNA,
Yeah.
or late last year, I should say, she's gained a lot more muscle.
Yeah, she looks much like, and I mean this in a positive way, so nobody get mad at me. But Danny looks like she's bulked up. She used to look like Dakota Kai. Now she looks like Jordan Grace. Not that extreme, people, but yeah, she definitely looks like she's been hitting the gym. NWA Power was the shiz. The NWA, man, I used to get on here when we first started this channel 2 years ago, and I'd tell everybody, do not miss an NWA pay-per-view. They
Mhm.
are killing it. It's wicked. You might not see their weekly shows, but do not miss an NWA pay-per-view. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. And here we are. The last two were complete garbage. The last one was controversial because you got the host of the show doing drugs up, doing tchotchke up in the
Yeah,
crowd. Like, I
yeah, I don't
don't
know.
get it.
I know I watched one MLW couple of months prior, and I was like, this is not. Why did I purchase this?
MLW's got talent. They're just
Uh-huh.
it's just it feels like a very unorganized show. You're like, all right, is it over? Did that happen? Like, what's going on? Oh no, we got more. No, we don't. Okay,
So it's one of
it's
those.
all
It's
over
like
the
all
place.
over the place.
Was
Oh,
that whole show one match? Okay, wow. Danny's showing off her power.
yeah.
Oh, she apparently has a powerlifting background. What do I fucking know?
Wow. It looks like Killer Kelly pleading for Masha to help her. Oh, there goes Jody.
Oh my. Oh,
Oh, Danny Luna pinned Killer Kelly. What?
boo, boo.
Wow. Oh, MK Ultra from behind assaulting them.
Get him, get him. That's what I'm
Wow.
saying.
Oh, Decay. Decay is coming out to the ring.
Love it, love it. What I like about this rivalry is I like both teams.
Yeah. Yeah. Like MK Ultra has really built themselves up, latter part of last year. And Decay has always been around and always been fantastic to watch. So it's difficult to choose because I'm on the fence. Like I would like MK Ultra to take those titles at No Surrender, but I love Decay too.
And I like that they're back to the dark side. They feel like Decay again.
Yeah. I like Death Dolls. I thought that was cool. I didn't really like Courtney Rush per se.
Facts.
I
Okay.
thought that was just a bit much, but Decay is where it's at.
Let's go. Up next, your main event. So, folks, get your predictions in. And why is it Moose?
Exactly. Why is it Moose?
uh, little commercial here. Is this a
Why this looks like the Purge a little bit? What
I
is
had to
this?
make sure it wasn't some crazy TNA video.
And yet,
Yeah, like I had to make sure first. Like, oh, they're introducing someone else. Sean will answer that in a second, folks. But we are heading into the main event, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here, and make sure you hit like and subscribe. Make sure you're here. We are the wrestling friends you can't get in your real life, and it's always fun around here. Big shout out to Big Nick. Hope he's doing well this eve. He will be back with us tomorrow. It's always a pleasure when the chapeau is in the house.
so it looks like next week we got Steve Macklin versus Trent Seven.
That
I
should be
like
a good
that.
match.
Yeah.
And a 6-man tag. They're actually telling us a week in advance what we're getting, which they haven't done that a lot.
They
It's one of my
have
pet
it.
peeves.
Yeah. I like that. I wish, you know, WWE and TNA, I mean not TNA, AEW would do that sometimes. I know WWE does it occasionally, but um
Yeah,
yeah,
they've done it a little more as of recent. Tony does it more than WWE does for sure.
that's
But
true.
Tony can't
Yeah.
wait to tell you what he's up to. He's like a kid.
So we got Josh Alexander versus Simon Gotcha and No Surrender. Made
Nice.
official. Yeah.
Nice.
I
PCO.
really think this decay match should have some type of stipulation, but
I
it's
agree.
cool.
I want a monster's ball.
Yeah, I like your idea. I really do like your idea of having a monsters ball.
Chris Sabin versus Mustafa Ali. Ali making his debut, folks.
Okay. No Surrender is looking really good next week.
It really is.
Yeah.
I really wish it was on a Saturday.
Yeah, right. Like Saturday night, since Elimination Chamber is super early in the morning for the people that want to
That
wake up at 3:30.
yeah. We will be here live, folks. Son of a breakfast with the boys. How do you think Moose would do in WWE now?
I don't know. I don't want to use the phrase lost in the shuffle because I don't think that would happen. He's too big for that to happen. But I don't know. Moose to me doesn't fit in WWE. Like his build does, his entrance does, but the way he presents himself doesn't give me WWE vibes. I don't know if you agree with me, KJ, but I've always felt that about him.
Yeah, I wonder if he ends up feeling kind of like a Bobby Lashley type in the sense of like
Yeah,
really talented, really athletic, but we don't quite know what to do with you. Where
yeah,
here in TNA, he has like an aura about him and it works for him. It's his world where
yeah,
it really,
absolutely.
and maybe just because we've seen him in this world for so long, it's hard. Like, would it still have like, this is my world vibes in the WWE? That's where
Right,
I'm curious.
right. I you know, I and MDB actually for the first time agrees with me down here. But I would like to see Moose in the Royal Rumble first. Like just like Jordan Grace to see
Yeah.
how it looks in WWE and then we can go from there. It's like with Jordan Grace, she showed up and they presented her like a legit threat in that women's Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
She looked like a star, she acted like a star, and she gave a 5-star performance. So can Moose replicate that if they did the same thing? I think he could, but I just still, like you say, he has that aura in TNA. Like this is his world. Like you said, this is my
Yeah.
world, and I just want to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the interesting part for me. And again, I think the loss in the shuffle is something that, we even batted around about Naomi and such, but
Yeah.
that's always your concern with the WWE is just, do you get in there? Do you take some losses that you probably shouldn't take? And do you get kind of minimalized a little bit?
Absolutely.
But we are off and running in the main event, folks. Moose taking on Kushida. And I've really enjoyed TNA tonight.
Yeah, it went by so quickly to get
Really
here to the
did.
main event. Every match, really delivered.
Ooh. What is your favorite Seth Rollins gear? Mine is WrestleMania 33 and Deadpool gear. I'm just going to piggyback off that. The Deadpool gear might be my favorite without putting a whole lot of thought into this.
Didn't he come out looking like a Power Ranger one time?
He did.
Okay, now that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a sucker for anything Deadpool, so I'll just go that route so I don't have to overthink it. But definitely have had some good looks. And I like more and more wrestlers doing stuff like that. And that might be actually a little bit of like when we talk about what Tony Khan has brought to the wrestling world and
Mhm.
AEW has brought, I feel like there was a big influx of people doing things like that because Tony gave them the freedom to do it. So
To
now
do
you
it,
see
yeah.
more, yeah.
I feel
Big,
like sometimes WWE, even in the wrestling ring, can be a little bit strict.
yeah.
And you don't really get to see a lot of that in WWE.
Hmm. I agree with that. Very, very homogenized. We got to stick to the system, kind of like the Moose.
Right.
Bacon Club for life. Yes. And stay tuned. We might have more news about the Bacon Club coming up.
The
So
Bacon Club.
we might be working on something. But yes, it will be the first breakfast with the boys, 4:30 a.m., bright and early. I don't even know if I will have sleep from the night before, but we will be there.
Sleep from the night before.
I might just still be sitting here like this, just waiting for everything to go live. I know it's a lot of like the British the British fans that I follow and such that I'm friends with,
Mhm.
very kind of like happy and braggadocious about like waking up at 10 a.m. for this one. And you're like, shut up.
It is super early. It is super early. I think I'll be up to watch it. Being up to stream like you and Nick though, nah.
We said it's either going to be hysterical because we're going to be just half awake and just going through it, or it could be horrible. We could be screaming and yelling at each other by the third match. Bring on the coffee.
Yes, coffee and bacon.
Coffee and bacon. We will make it through. Oh my God. They called that a uranagi. I felt that was just like
Yeah.
a throwing of a human being.
That's what I thought. It was like he just threw him down.
It's like yeet incarnate.
Wow.
Yeah, very interesting addition to No Surrender as Simon Gosh taking on Josh Alexander.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a fun match. Knowing their history now, seeing all the footage from their first match, yeah, I think that'd be a fun match to see.
Yeah.
Man, Kushida looks out of it already, and the match match really just is getting going.
We get some Kushida chants. Moose and Drew take my money. Yeah.
I think that would be a great match. Yeah.
That's the thing. I think Moose would be a great match with a lot of people. Like I'm a big Moose fan. Yeah, I'm all for it.
I'm seeing people in the TNA comment basically say, Moose versus Roman Reigns. Like he can have a good match, I feel like, with a lot of people, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, Halloween Havoc gear is mine. That's a good show. Good show.
Was that a drop kick by Moose?
Yes. Kind of. Yes. He's just such an athletic big man. Like,
Right.
like former X Division champion.
I don't think Kushida has gotten much offense at all.
Let's do a promo. Oh, MJF. Hello, Philip. Listen, the MJF shows up in WWE. First off, my buddy Nick is gonna faint on camera, just pass out. We will go viral. So I'm hoping for it. But I really don't ever think it's gonna be a thing.
It would be lovely for MJF to show up in WWE. But yeah, I don't see his character working in WWE like it does in AEW.
Yeah, you might have to hold him back a little, right? Like, and will that
Yeah,
take the edge off him?
it's gonna, because of the PG
Ooh,
rating, they're gonna have to, dial it back just a bit. Oh, come on, Kushida.
yeah, she's just trying. Oh, he was trying.
Exactly. He was trying.
Ooh, hoo-hoo. I'm probably gonna fall. Probably gonna fall asleep halfway through due to It's possible we might fall asleep halfway
On
through.
stream.
I'm just uh yeah, it's gonna be one of the trickier ones. We did the 3 a.m. Wrestle Kingdom, and I think that one was easier because I don't know why, but like 2, 3 a.m., like we were already kind of in motion. So I'm like, I'll just stay awake for a couple hours. We're good. I'm a bit of a vampire anyway. But 4:30 in the morning seems so early. Too far away from midnight and not close enough to 10 a.m. Right fucking in the middle.
Oh, Kushida finally getting some offense in. Got him in an armbar.
Nice. Kishida's had a good TNA run.
He has. He has. I would love to see him hold that X Division. Ooh, what a kick to the left arm. I would love to see him hold the X Division championship.
Yes. Kushida Ali.
Yes, give me that.
Let's go.
What a nice moonsault. He finally picking up some momentum here.
Wow. Doubles up.
I want Moose to win, but now I'm like, come on, Kushida.
I think you always, no matter what the match is, you're always kind of deep down like, go Kushida.
Exactly.
Trying to lock in that hoverboard. Oh, dragging Moose off the rope. Bold.
Oh, Moose. Oh, he got out the power bomb. Oh, code red. Oh,
Oh,
what a sequence of events. Like, TNA has delivered tonight in every aspect of the word delivered.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you, man. I really think this is one of the better shows we've had this week. This
Yeah.
might be my favorite show that I've had to endure this week.
I really want to say this is the best episode coming into the TNA era that they've had.
Yeah. Shock the world. Kushida just
Ooh. That was a nice big boot by Moose.
oh,
Oh,
Tanaka punch.
oh, spear.
Oh, so someone just said Moose versus Roman, the spear on spear. And that's how you emphatically end a match, Anthony. Woo!
Exactly.
Sheeta looking good. Sheeta looking good. Bang. Never mind. Hang tonight.
Moose
Yeah,
didn't hold back tonight. They put on a match tonight.
that was a hell of a main event. I really enjoyed
Yeah,
that match. I thought we got, for the vast majority of this, everything was pretty quality.
yeah. I really
Man,
think the segment with AJ Francis and Joe Hendry was saved by Joe Hendry.
Oh yeah.
If we didn't get that music video by Joe Hendry, I would have been like, that was the downfall of the night.
I was saying it as it was happening. Like I don't want to be rude, and
is it What Culture Wrestling that does the ups and downs? That would have been
yeah,
the down.
yeah. As Moose defends his world title. Oh, we're gonna get a little of a brouhaha here, I think.
Ooh, a slap by Alicia Edwards.
Alicia Edwards gets under my skin so bad.
I love her so much.
I know. That's like, and again, it's her job. I just even when the minute she walks out, I'm like, ugh. Here she comes. But she is working in this faction in that way. But man,
she's working really well. Oh, there comes Alex Shelley and Kevin Knight.
Kevin Knight getting some love in the last couple
Yeah,
weeks here.
he's being used a lot this time around. Someone said in the Impact chat, Shelley and Knight were across the street. It did take them a long time to get to the
ring. Facts. The other crew didn't even run out. They walked out, took their time. You think your friends would be like, uh-oh. Let's see what happens.
Moose is trying to bail out on Alex Shelley. He's like, nah, I'm not with this.
Kushida.
Wow.
So next week we're getting a 6-man tag on the eve of No Surrender, where Alex Shelley will take on Moose. Woo!
That was a show.
That was a great show, folks. We'll take your rating out of 10. And as Anthony and I were just saying, I mean, I really enjoyed, like, being that I was very critical of a lot of what happened on Dynamite. I thought NXT this week was a shit show. Didn't bring a whole lot of fun to the table. Raw had its moments. I didn't hate Raw. I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty okay. Tonight was fun. Like, tonight was a good wrestling show.
No, it was solid. And Raw wasn't bad. I just sometimes Raw just is so long that I just kind of like I can't do it anymore. Nothing bad about the show. The majority of the time when I check out of Raw, it's because it's just like I can't do this for another hour and a half. So I'll next morning I'll watch like the highlights and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't really watch NXT that much, but Dynamite was not for me last night at all.
Cool.
So I'm with you tonight. As of right now, has been the best wrestling show this week.
I enjoyed it. I really did. High marks for me. I'll give it a solid 8, which is much higher than the other 2 shows I rated. So it was a solid 8. I didn't understand Fandango. Joe Hendry saved AJ Francis. That was amazing, actually. Because Joe gave us exactly what I was thinking of. Like, God, you can't hang us on this.
I'm gonna go with you. I was going to say 8.5, but then you mentioned the Dirty Dango, whatever that was. So I'm gonna stay with you with the 8 tonight.
Yeah, not bad overall. Yeah. A couple little things here or there. 9.5 from Damien, loving it. 7.75. Trust the system. 7.7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8, 7, 7. Okay, so everyone feeling pretty good about it. Pretty solid show. Overall, I mean, and again, I think what they've done is next week's exciting. A lot going on next week, and then No Surrender on Friday. No Surrender is stacked.
Yes, No Surrender. This might be one of the best cards. And I say this about every TNA pay-per-view, but I feel like this is going to be one of the best cards. Like, I think everything is going to really hit next week, next Friday. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. I think start to finish. And I'm sure we'll talk about it leading into No Surrender. But look, Robert coming in with a 9 out of 10.
Dang.
What's going on, Robert? So yeah, I mean, everyone felt pretty good about it. There wasn't really a whole lot of low points. I mean, even the low points that we did get were kind of small. I'm really curious to see what they do with Ash by Elegance next week.
Yes, yes. Seeing her tonight and how she was presented, I'm very intrigued of what they continue to do with her time in TNA.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else we can really say about this one, my guy.
Yeah, it was
But
it was great.
there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make it a last call on the chat here tonight. Thank you for joining myself and Anthony. It was a fun one as always. I feel like now I need to throw to you and you got to have some like rhymey shtick thing to do.
Nah, I definitely don't have any rhymey things like Nick.
Any final thoughts? Anything you want to leave the people with before we say goodnight?
I would just say keep an eye out over the next week with TNA as we head into No Surrender. The card is stacked. We got new matches added with Alexander and Gotch. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. I think we might be hitting a stride over the next 7 days with TNA wrestling and with the Scott D'Amore thing. We got to keep our eyes on that too.
Absolutely. I think that's the key one is keep an eye out for Scott D'Amore. And we want Scott, see how that progresses, see if there's any change. But if not, and if anything does change, we will be here. Check out Anthony on TikTok and everywhere else. Check us out. Click all our links below. Be a friend. Tell a friend, folks. We are back for SmackDown tomorrow. And until then, we'll see you on the flip side. Good night.